welcome again to FSTV. You don't know Football Settings TV. I am your host, Mr. Football Settings himself, DNPL. Welcome once again to another Monday episode, or every Monday episode actually. I've been out for it's 2 weeks or a week now since I've done a show. Due to personal reasons, I must apologize for that. What I'm going to try to do moving forward. If I also I'll ask someone that's on the team to do the show for me. Alright guys, so I must apologize for that because people has been contacting me asking me about why the show coming on last for the past 2 weeks. I think after the past week I think it's 2 weeks now, but I must apologize for that my viewers. Alright, so today, as you can see, let's jump straight into it today. As you can see, we normally do the show, we normally run through our weekend events, run through the weekend reviews and so on and so forth, and to a bit of news over that went on over the weekend, or even today, we run through a bit of it and see, and get your views and your thoughts. So please remember to leave some comments while the show is going on. You can say a few comments in the live chat there. No problem. It's all fine by me. And shout out to whoever is watching at the moment. So today, before we go any further today, Manchester City. As you can see in your thumbnail, Manchester City has been charged by the FA for breaches, and due to those breaches there might be some point reduction and also some titles being stripped away from them, and also some player suspension or player can't play for them as well. That's very interesting. To be honest, I haven't got around to read much on what has been happening with that, or to follow up on much, but because today has been a very busy day for me, I had a lot to do today, so much as I must apologize for that. But let me hear your let me see your comments and hear what you guys have to say on that matter, please and thanks. Sorry. Sorry about that. And also today, Jesse March, that's what is pronounced, was relieved of his duties following a poor run of form on his Leeds team, and we said as well. His Leeds team hasn't been performing well at all, so I wasn't surprised he was sacked after seeing that Frank Lampard has been sacked a few weeks ago as well. I wasn't surprised. I definitely wasn't surprised about that. Let's not any of your time, because my time, I don't know, do what you do here and run through the weekend reviews as well. So kicking off it by moving to the French League, Ligue 1, we saw PSG beating Toulouse 2-1. We saw Lyon beating Trent 3-1. We saw Lille beating Rennes 3-1 as well. Moving on to Sunday. Let me see if I'm actually in those leagues on Sunday. Excuse me. Monaco came up 2-0 winners. We saw that Nice beating Marseille, and for me that's a shocker there because I think Leeds, I might call it Leeds, I think Marseille has a better team than Nice, to be honest, in my opinion. But as they always say, it's the football around, and football is a very unpredictable sport. So at times, yes, on paper a team might be better, but by the end of the day, sometimes on paper, but by the end of the day, there's maybe on paper the team is better, but when you come to the day, match day, the team that's better on paper might lose to the team that's not. Just a football state, that's a football go. You see me? Just like in FIFA, you don't know. Sometimes you might have a team in a man and use a worse team and beat you just to steal, you know what I mean? So that's how you go. Moving right along. We move over to Spanish League. Spanish League. This thing is giving me a little time here. Um, excuse me. La Liga. Yes. Over in La Liga on Saturday, we saw Espanyol and Osasuna playing to 1-1 draw. We saw Villarreal losing to Elche 3-1. We saw Atletico Madrid and Getafe playing to a 1-1 draw. We saw Celta beating Betis 4-3. Very entertaining match there. And on Sunday, we saw big upset. We saw defending champions Real Madrid losing on the day to Mallorca 1-0. An own goal at that time I had from Nacho. That's very surprising. We saw Barcelona extending to a 8-point lead at the top of the table, beating Sevilla 3-0 over there in La Liga. Moving forward over to Serie A. On Saturday, over there in Serie A, we saw Elche winning 2-0. We saw Roma beating Empoli 2-0. We saw Sassuolo beating Atalanta 1-0. We saw, moving on to Sunday, we saw Napoli comfortably 3-0 winners. We saw Torino beating Udinese 1-0. We saw Fiorentina losing to Bologna 2-1. We saw AC Milan is a club that I support over there. It's a club I've always, so from my younger age, it's a club that I've always liked, following from the days of Nesta and Maldini. Those are my two all-time favorite defenders, I must have. I saw them losing to their arch rivals Inter Milan 1-0. It was a very lackluster match and lackluster performance from AC Milan. I think due to their injuries that they have with some key players. I think that's adds to the reason why they played so poorly in my eyes in the offensive third of the park. I think they were very poor, very poor. I must add. Moving forward on to what am I missing? German Bundesliga. So on Saturday, over there in Bundesliga, we saw Dortmund comfortable 5-1 winners. We saw Cologne and Red Bull Leipzig take to a 0-0 draw. We saw Shakhtar and Borussia Gladbach, if I'm pronouncing that right, and if I'm bashing it, I'm sorry. We saw them playing to a 0-0 draw. On Sunday, we saw Munich beating Wolfsburg 4-2. We saw how much is there? I remember that on this Sunday. That about it for the Bundesliga. So we're moving on to everyone's favorite, the EPL, the English Premier League, where we saw on that weekend, I think, start off on the Friday. Yes. Was it the Friday? Yeah, I'll watch on the Friday. I'll see something more. Friday. Yes, we saw Chelsea and Fulham playing to a very boring draw. Wasn't good at all. That match was very boring. We saw on Saturday, we saw top of the table Arsenal, Gunners. A lot of Gunners fans might be upset at the moment, but I saw the Gunners losing to Everton in that first match of the Saturday morning 1-0. We saw Leicester City. This match was a very entertaining match. We saw Leicester City beating our own Leon Bailey, Aston Villa's 4-2, and it was a very entertaining match. I like that. End to end stuff. We saw Bournemouth beating Brentford. Brentford beating Southampton 3-0. We saw Brighton beating Bournemouth 1-0. We saw my beloved Manchester United beating Crystal Palace 2-1. We saw Wolves trashing Liverpool 3-0. We saw West Ham and Newcastle playing to a 1-1 draw on the Saturday, on the final match of the day. Moving on to the Sunday, where we saw Nottingham Forest beating Leeds 1-0. I guess that was another reason why Jesse March was relieved of duties from his post at Leeds United. And we saw Tottenham beating defending champions Manchester City 1-0, goal from Mr. Harry Kane himself. I think was a very good performance from Tottenham there, and I think one Harry Kane, he also reached the 200 goal mark after scoring against Man City in that match, and he's now on 200 goals, Premier League goals for his Premier League career. So he joined the likes of Wayne Rooney and Alan Shearer in the 200 mark. So he's doing quite well for himself at the age that he is at the moment. That's pretty much it for our review on matches for this weekend, and also I must also give my input on the Mason Greenwood. Not going to get into it too much, but he was freed of all charges. Charges has been dropped on the allegation that he was had against him. I think he hasn't played any football, or he was suspended for what I think 14 months now, if I remember certain correct. I think about that. It was like last year January, so it would be about 14 months now. Club statement from Manchester United has came out that they are doing their own investigation on the matter as well, and he also made a comment that he won't be commenting on the matter either until other stuff has been cleared up, where the club is concerned that if he should play or not, or where sponsored and so on and so forth. Because Nike also came out and said that they won't be re-signing him to a contract. So it should be quite an we should be looking forward to see what both the club and other investors and what the player would like to do in the future. And let's see. And on that red card that Casemiro got his first straight red on Saturday in that Crystal Palace match. His first ever straight red card. Normally he got a red card, but it was a straight. It was more 2 yellows which conclude to a red. But now he has gotten a straight red card for the very first time ever. And that's sad, because I don't think on first view I thought it was a red, to be honest. On first view, but on other views that I've seen and other videos that I've seen, I saw that it was more an interpretation. I get why the ref would give him a red card, and but the thing about it, he wasn't the only one that was doing an offense like that. The one that Andre Ayew was doing on the Fred. How is it that they missed that? Or how is it that they only saw what Casemiro was doing and not what Andre Ayew was doing? You know? Kind of shaky there, VAR. and to the officials as well, kind of shaky there. But I understand that there was a lot going on in that melee, and I think Manchester United might be appealing that, I'm not sure. But let's see. And if not, he will be suspended for 3 matches, so he will be missing the 2 league matches, and I'm not sure which other match we have after that. He will be missing the league match on Wednesday, the league match over the weekend, and another match to follow up on. But let's see how Manchester United will handle that, because they signed the likes of Marcel Sabitzer, seeing the fact that Christian Eriksen got a terrible tackle from Andy Carroll, and that resulted in him being out for virtually the rest of the season. And that sucks based on our part that we don't have any much cover in the midfield area of the park. And let's see how that goes for the rest of the season. And also the signing that Chelsea signed, Enzo Fernandez, brilliant signing from Chelsea, I must add. Last year, one Ralph Ragnick said to Manchester United that they should try and sign that young man Enzo Fernandez before he went to Benfica, and that fell on deaf ears, and so in result to know he's now a $121 million player. Which you could have signed him for 20 plus million. You know, that is football. No? That is football. It is what it is. We missed out on him, but Chelsea have gotten a great player in Enzo Fernandez, and they have done some very smart business over the January transfer window, and I must applaud them for that. And they also got rid or sold one Jorginho to Arsenal, and funny enough, I was saying to some Arsenal fans that he isn't what they actually would want in their team, because Arsenal is playing a type of football where they are playing a bit of tempo, high tempo, quick passing, 1-2s, moving lower quickly, moving lower out the field quickly, which Jorginho would more slow down the pace of the game 95% of the time, and that's not what I don't think that's what they were looking for. But I guess it's because of the fact that they couldn't get the signings that they want, so they just got who was available at the time, and I understand that. So they can banter them or bad them for it, but I don't think Jorginho is a good signing for Arsenal. I don't think so. I think he will do okay, but I don't think he's a great signing for them. I don't think so. But that's it here from us at Football Settings TV. Thanks again for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Please, I am Bernie. I am asking you please. Also, please to leave a comment, share the video, and also asking you to please follow us on Instagram at footballsettings.tv. This will be much appreciated. Thanks guys for watching. I'm out.